Hi friends, welcome back once again to the module 5. Let's go to the second part of magnetic resonance imaging safety. So you can look into the classification of MRI safety labels here. MRI uses three standardized safety labels. One is MR safe, second one is MR conditional, and the third one is MR unsafe. So in this session we will be discussing in detail about the safety labels in MRI. So the first one is MR safe. So items that pose no known hazards in all MRI environments. So what all are the characteristics? It should be non-conductive, non-metallic, no magnetic, also cannot move, heat or interfere with MRI. So examples you can see Foley's catheter, which is MR safe, which is made up of silicone and plastic components. Also in plastic syringes, rubber items, non-metallic hospital equipment such as plastic BP cuffs, also plastic bed rails, etc. These all equipments are MR safe. The second one is MR conditional. So it is allowed but with conditions, like a medicine that is safe only in the right dose, isn't it? So items that are safe only under specific MRI conditions such as field strength. Some implants will be having some restriction, maybe 3 Tesla cannot be used for that particular implant. It will be mentioned in the implant itself. So we have to make sure that the prescribed field strength is used, maybe safe at less or equal to 1.5 T only. So we have to use that field strength. And also positioning restrictions will be there, temperature limit will be there, SAR limit will be there. Continuous monitoring is required in such conditions. So for example, titanium implant is not attracted to magnets, so it is safe, but there are some conditions. They can heat or distort image quality. So positioning restrictions ensure the implant stays in a safe orientation and distance from the center of the magnet. So you have to make sure that the implant is lying well away from the bore of the magnet. So that should be ideal. That is what positioning restriction that I have discussed here. And biodegradable materials, safe only after the material has fully healed or integrated, then we can use. So biodegradable material, if it is already implanted, so after healing that or fully integration, then you can do the particular MRI investigation. And when we come to the pacemakers, specifically modern pacemakers, in conventional pacemakers we can't use, that will explain in the further slide. In modern pacemakers we have to ensure that there is a mode, MR on, mode should be on. So when we enable the MR mode on, then we can do the MRI scanner. Also device implanted for more than 6 weeks only allowed to do MRI scan. So always pacemaker should be 6 weeks old, and scan is done at 1.5 Tesla because particular implant means pacemakers have the field strength limit. So most of the implants have 1.5 T, so should be done in that particular 1.5 T MRI scanner. Also heart specialist gives approval, even though this all MRI mode is on, also 6 week completed, and we are preferring a 1.5 T, even though all this criteria are fulfilling, we have to get the approval from the specialist, heart specialist, to do this particular investigation with MRI. Also monitoring is done continuously. ECG and SpO2 should be continuously monitored during the investigation. So we have discussed in the previous slide about the SAR limits. So I thought we'll have a slide about the specific absorption rate, that is nothing but SAR. So SAR tells us how much heat is produced inside the patient body. So SAR, the amount of RF energy your body absorbs during an MRI scan. So MRI uses radio frequency pulses, and these pulses can cause heating of the tissue, heating of the implant, and burns if cables touches the skin. So whole body SAR limit is around less than or equal to 2 watt per kg. Head SAR limit is approximately less than or equal to 3.2 watt per kg. So we'll move on to the third one, MR unsafe. Items that must never enter the MRI suite due to severe risk. So all ferromagnetic objects and traditional pacemakers are MR unsafe. So characteristics: ferromagnetic, strong attraction and projectile hazards can happen, high risk of heating, and may malfunction or cause burns. So why this pacemakers, conventional pacemakers are unsafe? Because earlier pacemakers had ferromagnetic components such as reed switch inside it, so which were MR unsafe. So that we have to particularly ask about the pacemakers and discuss with the heart specialist which particular pacemakers have been implanted, and we have to confirm whether it is modern or conventional one before proceeding with the MRI scan. So we'll look into cryogen hazards. As we know, MRI scanner uses cryogen, usually liquid helium, isn't it, to keep the superconducting magnet extremely cold to achieve the zero resistance. So it is around minus 269 degrees Celsius. So MRI scanner is filled with approximately 1000 liters of liquid helium. What is asphyxiation risk? Asphyxiation is nothing but it is when you don't get enough oxygen in your body tissues. So when liquid helium evaporates, it expands 700 times in volume and displacing the oxygen from the room. So what happens if too much gas fills in the room? What happens? Oxygen level significantly drops, and staff or patients may collapse. Silent, colorless, and odorless danger it is. Also, specifically which is happening when the quench pipe fails. This is why all the MRI rooms have certain settings. Oxygen monitors are there, so always monitoring the oxygen. If it fails, this will displace. When liquid helium evaporate, it expands 700 times in volume, isn't it? So displacing oxygen. So we have to check always the oxygen level. So oxygen monitors and ventilation alarms, also emergency exhaust duct should be available in the MRI scanner room. The next hazard due to the cryogen is nothing but frostbite. It is nothing but liquid helium is so cold that it can instantly freeze human tissues. So direct contact can cause severe frostbite. Metal object exposed to cryogen can become cold enough to stick to skin. So if a cryogen leaks occur, never touch cold surfaces inside the MRI room. You can see the pictures here. Once you touch such surfaces, and it is putting you in more danger. To conclude, MRI safety is a shared responsibility. Every staff member, every checklist, and every decision contributes to preventing accidents and protecting patients. Also, understanding the magnetic, RF, and gradient hazard is essential. Awareness of how these forces work ensures safe handling of equipment, implants, and patient positioning, and also safe MRI practice with zero compromise. Strict screening, strong communication, and consistent adherence to protocols keep the MRI environment safe every patient and every time. So MRI is powerful, invisible, and silent, and incredibly unforgiving when protocols fails. So thank you for working safely.